What up, Jay? How you doing, brother?
Look, anytime. Where's JP? I got BMitch man on the mic.
Well, you know,
JP's somewhere famous. I know that.
He is in Indianapolis, but he walked away to listen to Adam Peters. He's supposed to be back. He may be back anytime soon. He know you're coming on, so we expect him to come back.
It's all right. I'll talk to the real boss. That's you.
I got you. So what has been your impression so far with the Maryland Terrapins?
Look, it's funny they're calling them the Crab Five. I think that's very clever. I think Kevin Willard, look, I could go all over the place because Tony Skinner Mason, Chris Caputo, year 3, is doing a really good job at GW. Georgetown and Cooley probably going to go to the NIT, but the Big East tournament's wide open. But everybody's got their little things going on, you know, and everybody's making improvements. But I don't think anybody saw how well the Maryland Terrapins, and I'm a huge Terps guy. I love Derek Queen. I know Gillespie was on our circuit at Under Armour. I knew him at Belmont. Belmont, full disclosure, was an Under Armour school. So while I knew these guys were going to be good, and I said they were going to go to the NCAA from day one, Derek Queen, BMitch, and you're a pro.
Huh?
There are those guys that just have it. Those guys that just Lawrence Taylor type, and I'm not saying he's LT, but Queen's big, long, knows how to play, has a lot of savvy, can handle the ball. He's like Derek Coleman to me, for those old people listening, like the Syracuse guys. So, like I said, the Caputo thing and the GW doing great. They got a great skins on the bubble. Georgetown's taking the next step. They got a great freshman. Things are going on around the area. No one saw the job Kevin Willard was going to do. And you played for great coaches.
But
what he's done is kind of made him a 5-man rotation. Geronimo and DHS off the bench. He's meshed them. And I think the surprise of the team, to me, is Rice from Bullis, Rodney Rice's son, Rodney Rice Jr. That's my take, is they've been great, but they've exceeded expectations. They're rolling. And they got that little magic touch that they could go, like, all the way, B-Mitch.
So,
now you're talking my language.
Do they, like, you look at them, and I think once you get to the NCAAs, it's about depth. You can have the 5 guys that can play, but you're going to need some guys to come in and play. Do they have that as well?
Geronimo's established. Kapari's better at home than on the road. Geronimo's been around. He's taken him, he doesn't shoot threes anymore. He's a 4 or 5 athletic shot blocker. And Jay's good off the bench as a little backup point guard who play at Memphis, so he's got real experience. But if Deshaun Harris-Smith, who's accepted his role well off the bench, could turn into that little – he's kind of a 3-4 trapped in a 2-man's body, but in a rough and tumble game, can he help you? Absolutely. I saw him on the road, and they lost at Washington, and they had to get their act together in January like everybody else. Washington, by the way, a lot of good players have been there. I went on the Washington trip to see what it was like with Washington and Oregon joining the league. Ask Brenda Freeze. She's had Oregon, who's been in the Final Four before, UCLA and USC are dominating women's basketball right now, joined the league. So you had to adjust to that and the travel. But Willard, I'll say it again, masterful job. They beat Villanova. I was there. They manhandled Syracuse. Marquette was a learning lesson. They go out west. They don't play well. Everybody's on them. And what he's done since that trip, they played well against Oregon. What he's done since the first week of January is he's tightened his lineup. And remember, BMitch, long timeouts in the NCAA. Yes, I'm more worried about foul trouble. And Juju Reese has just been a mature look. He really cleaned up his act. He's got that look like he's getting ready for the pros. I think he could play in the NBA, maybe as a backup center, or does he start as a two-way? Juju Reese has been most consistent. Queen's the star. Selton Miguel is just a 25-year-old kid that everybody has, so it's fair. Everybody has him. That's a 2-guard that played at South Florida. Bruno Fernando's cousin, loves Maryland, has shot the ball well. And then Jacoby Gillespie is as good as advertised. He's finding his role. But if I had to give, most important player from January 15th on, it's been Rodney Rice from Bullis, who played for Bruce Kelly, lives up by JP. And let me tell you something. He has just shot the ball consistently. They're a threat. There's a big game against Michigan State. They got Northwestern at home. Yeah, they got to go to Michigan, who's like the talk of the town. But right now they're a 1-4 seed, which is a double bye, which is huge. I want to see where they go. I want them to go to Providence, Cleveland, or Raleigh, so they're close. I really want to go to Providence. And then they're going to win game 1. Game 2 will be a barn burner. It always is, but that's how it works. That's their next step, and JP knows this. They've won. Terps won, beat Connecticut 7-10. Got killed by Alabama. I was there when we beat West Virginia. It's time for this program to go to the second weekend. And I think Will has done a masterful job. But in Derek Queen, anything can happen. I said this before you get on, JP. He's like Derek Coleman, who plays
like that.
He's like, he can do anything, everything. He knows how to win, handle the ball. All right, he doesn't really shoot threes yet. He'll be in the NBA. I picked a guy like 5th, 6th, or 7th next year, so that's a format. So, JP, can he be Purvis Ellis and BMitch? Can he be a freshman that rides? Can he be Paolo Banchero and take him all the way? That's why it's March Madness. It's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Talking with our friend Jimmy Patsos, of course, won a national championship on Gary Williams' staff with the Terps back when I was in college, coached everywhere, knows everybody. Few people are more connected in the college, hell, just the basketball world than Jimmy Patsos. And, Jimmy, a big reason I want to talk to you is obviously the big picture for the Terps, right? But this game tomorrow night feels like the biggest one in College Park in a long time. Right now, they are tied for third in the Big Ten, playing Michigan State, who's the top team in the Big Ten. I think Maryland is under. I think they should be ranked higher at 16. Seems not fair to me, but whatever. Sparty comes in at 8th. Give us some specifics to watch in this matchup tomorrow night in College Park.
Look, it starts with Tom Izzo, and I can't say enough about him as a human being and a great guy and all that. He can coach. Yeah. And Izzo has done as good a job with the portal and the NIL. And look, we've all talked about it. Larinaga, maybe he was 75, too old. Tony Bennett got up frustrated. Guys don't like it. Jay Wright didn't want to deal with it. Izzo's like, this is the way it is. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I respect
He's
that.
found guys. He's got 2 guys coming. And Chrissy Winter Scott's son's coming.
I know, he's got 2 kids from here, right?
Yeah, they weren't cheap either. If anybody listened, these weren't like, come here and get your education. You had to battle NIL, and you're not going to start as a freshman maybe, or you're going to have to, work your way into the lineup like everybody else. This is a situation where Tom Izzo has embraced the way college basketball's changed. And if you talk to Gary Williams, who has a big birthday coming up next week, JP, we'll talk about that.
Okay. We got Coach coming on tomorrow with us.
Oh, yeah. He's got a big 80th coming up. Happy birthday, March 4th. You can tell him that. So here's the deal. You can ask this about to Gary Williams. If you're going to stay in coaching, you have to adapt to the situation. Gary Williams, that guy wouldn't give you a free cheeseburger. I tried, trust me. He told the line harder than any coach in America, and I mean that, and following the rules. The rules are NIL's allowed. Tom Izzo has done a great job. What I think is going to happen, they always score more than you think. Yeah, they play tough D. You got to get back in transition and stop them tomorrow night. What I think is, it probably is the biggest game of the Willard era. The Purdue win at home was huge. They're sold out the rest of the season because Greg Manning, my former player and assistant, Greg Manning's on staff. I'm going to be at the Northwestern game unless I go to Auburn, Alabama. I was at the Wiz last night. The Wizards all of a sudden have some, young guys, but you need some old guys. Well, Izzo has figured that out. Yeah, we all want Cooper Flagg. Of course we do. And maybe Harper. I don't like Bailey. You add those pieces in. Well, Izzo is mismatching young guys with old guys, and we're going to pay guys, and that's okay. But we're still going to be held accountable on defense, and we're still going to practice hard every day, and you're never going to beat them easily. But I think Willard's got the right style to beat them. They got to handle the first couple of minutes. Last time they played there, they came in and scored way too many points early. Got to get back in transition against Tom Izzo. But I think Willard's got a great opportunity. 1 through 4 is the magic number. I think 1 through 5 in the NCAA is the magic number because Connecticut won it 2 years ago was a 5. And so you're at the Wizards hearing the buzz about the Terps. Unfortunately, I won't be at the Terps. I'm glad to be with the young Wizards game. But I was there last night as a fan walking around. And when Georgetown gets it together and they're heading in the right direction, next year they're going to start playing. And he's going to start playing Virginia too, Willard. So is year 3 of the program, is this a big game? Of course it is, JP. But is it everything? No. Going to Michigan's a big game. And Northwestern, Chris Collins just went and beat Ohio State. You got 3 big ones before we get to the tournament. And we all know this, BMitch. Winning 3 in a row, it feels great. Losing 3 in a row sure doesn't feel great. So, can you go 2 out of 3 in these next 3? You did your job. And I'm interested to see. Nobody knows what's going on in Michigan except they have Wolf to transfer from Yale. Yes, Yale, he graduated. and he's kicking butt at the 4, and he's up for the Indiana job, even though he's at Michigan because he was a Bobby Knight manager. Like, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and these coaches have to stay focused. And what I will say about Izzo and Michigan State, he's just done a great job of being himself, but he loves coaching. And just because you added some transfers in NIL, hey, if the ingredients change, if the cooking shows change, if that's how the world's going to go, Izzo's done a fantastic job. And I think he's given hope to a lot of older coaches. Like, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's semi-pro basketball. So what? Got to get back in defense. Got to match their intensity. Can't let them push you around early. And the BMitch thing about the depth. I'm more concerned about the depth due to foul trouble, BMitch, and I am concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
Geronimo is the X factor tomorrow night. He has to get in there and play hard inside.
Yeah, but what you said about Izzo, I have to respect that because there are a lot of coaches who ran from
Tony Bennett quit.
When everything was in
Coach
their
K
favor
quit.
and they were getting all the damn people, they stayed around because they had the advantage. When everybody else, when the rabbit got the gun, then they all of a sudden want to run. You know, so I have to respect Izzo. I've always liked him because he was defensive minded, and now after hearing that, I respect him even more.
No, and I'm glad. And you guys know Michigan State's not the easiest place to recruit to. It's not on some beach, you know. It's not the glamorous Michigan. What he's done year over year there, and the pros he's produced, including Christie, he has way more pros than you think out there. But coming into DC and getting George Scott, Cam Ward, when I said, wow, I said, what are you doing here last year? Izzo said, I'm in it. If I want to win it, Jimmy, I'm in it. And we're ready. We're locked and loaded. And we got charter planes, too. We can come down here, and we got some money. I'm sure Magic Johnson dropped a check on him, you know, because he's paying middle relievers $10 million for the Dodgers. So why not give him money? Like, it's just a new world, and that's okay. And I just think the fact, BMitch, and you know this as a pro, some guys, when they pay you a lot or this, they treat you differently. You've been in major NFL locker rooms. Izzo's like, I'll do all that, but everybody in this locker room's the same. I know them really well. Doug Wojcik's their assistant. You're going to practice hard.
Yep.
You know, there's no load management. I don't want to hear about you can't go today. And you're going to set screens and you're going to rebound. Tell me, BMitch, your experience in a locker room. Like, some guys can do it and some guys can't, where they keep their, like, toughness thing going.
Yep.
Jimmy, you're correct. They got a bunch of games left. There's a whole lot of basketball to be played. You said it's the biggest game of the Willard era tomorrow night. You think they get the dub with Sparty in town?
Yeah, 71, 74. Yeah, Willard's been scoring. 74-68, Maryland.
Yeah, that's what makes me most comfortable with this Terps team. All 5 of the starters can fill it up. And when you watch Bama, Auburn, Florida, Duke, they're scoring 90 a night. I feel like these Terps can keep up.
Yeah, Willard's turned the scoring up. He's let him take some shots. Willard's done a great job. Hey, hey, Gary and I, we used to scream, hey, you missed a 3, bad shot, you made a good shot, whatever, and all that. But we played fast-paced. Willard's like a medium-paced guy, but his offense, he's let him go this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Willard's like up for National Coach of the Year. And I think in year 3, he's embracing the area. He's figured out the job. You know, he came from Seton Hall, a Big East Catholic school with no football, blah, 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 New Jersey. First year NCAA. Last year they missed on the portal. I got 20 schools right now, and I won't name them, that missed badly on the portal. Willard hit on the portal, and he went to Angola this summer, anybody listened, and made sure when other schools were expressing with Sel Miguel, and did a really good job in researching why he said he wasn't hurt and that Virginia Tech wasn't all his fault. I'm not saying it was anybody's fault, but there's always a reason guys leave. It's not just money. And picked up the backup point guard who's been really solid for him. Jay's been really solid for Memphis. Willard has masterfully worked the portal, along with a possible freshman of the year, and Juju Reese, a 5-man stand. Remember, it's retention. We got to keep the good ones we got. And they did. And Geronimo stayed to be a backup. So I'm just going to give Willard a lot of credit. I'm really excited for what's coming up. But, yeah, I think it's a huge game tomorrow night, and that's okay. We want big games in College Park. I work for Under Armour. We love big games. Auburn's number 1. Wisconsin's number 15. I went out to Wisconsin, Illinois. By the way, Willard beat them. We got St. Mary's out west, who just does an amazing job and beat Gonzaga. You watch all these guys, sometimes you guys got to win a big game, JP. It's good to be in a big game, and it's even better to win it. So I'm all Willard. I'm all Maryland. I'm totally bummed I can't go tomorrow night, but I'll have it on DVR. And you know what? I just think it's great for the program.
I'm going to have to watch. I'm going to find I guess they got plenty of Big Ten bars in Indiana. I should be able to find it.
I think they'll be asking you lots of questions out there in Indiana. And, look at Indiana. Mike Mike's a really good guy and a good coach. I don't know him like that. And he went to the NCAA 2 years ago. They want more. Bloomington wants more. So you'll be at the combine running around, go to, St. Elmo's, get the shrimp that clears you right out.
Yeah, there you go.
But the Purdue guys, they've had their issues. Zach Edey's not there anymore. The 7'2" guy who's the 9th pick of the draft and is going to be all rookie isn't there anymore. And Purdue's going, what's going on? That's the thing. Enjoy this year, Maryland, because we don't know what next year is. And I'm not being a downer, but Reese, Miguel, and Queen are gone. So keep Rice, you got to keep Rice and Gillespie, but enjoy the next 6 weeks because this is how it is in college basketball, and then you reload.
Yep, you have to.
Jimmy, thank you, brother. Appreciate you making time for us.
You guys. BMitch, I owe you. See you.
All right, bro.
You can follow him at Coach Patsos. That was Jimmy Patsos on the Rude Guest Hotline.